Hello students, today we will be discussing about stereoisomerism. The stereoisomerism arises on account of different position and arrangement of ligands in space around the metal atom. Now the stereoisomerism can be categorized into two. First one is our geometrical isomerism and the second one is our optical isomerism. Now this geometrical isomerism is also known as what? It is also known as cis-trans isomerism. Again, in the case of cis-trans isomerism, what happens if the ligands are occupying adjacent position to each other? We call it as what? We call it as cis isomers or cis isomerism. In the case of cis isomerism, what happens? The ligands are adjacent to each other. Whereas in the case of trans isomers, if the ligands are opposite to each other, we call it as what? We call it as trans isomer. So that is why this geometrical isomerism is also known as what? Cis-trans isomerism. Now let us first consider the case of geometrical isomerism. Now in the case of geometrical isomerism, this type of isomerism is very common in compounds with coordination number 4 and 6. The case of compounds with coordination number 4 and 6, this geometrical isomerism is very common. Now let us consider the geometrical isomerism. So let us see. Now in the case of geometrical isomerism, let us first consider the isomerism in complexes with coordination number 4. Now when we are saying complexes with coordination number 4, the complexes can have two types of geometry. The first one is tetrahedral geometry and the second one is square planar geometry. So complexes with coordination number 4 will have either tetrahedral or square planar. So let us first consider the case of tetrahedral complexes. Now in the case of tetrahedral complexes, how can we represent it? Or we can write it as Ma4, or we can take it, let the metal atom be like this, and here we are taking a complex where the ligand is what? Ligand is this type. Now you can see here there is an angle which is 109 degree. If we flip between these two atoms, if we change this ligand to here or if we change the ligands to here, what will happen? The angle will be same. So we can say that in the case of tetrahedral complex, what will be there? There will be no geometrical isomerism in the case of what? In the case of tetrahedral complex. Why there is no geometrical isomerism in the case of tetrahedral complex? Because you can see that in the case of tetrahedral complex, the relative position of atom with respect to each other is what? Same. Why we say that there is no geometrical isomerism? Because the relative position of atom is what? The relative position of atoms with respect to each other is same in the case of tetrahedral complex. So we can say that, or the point to be noted is that in the case of tetrahedral complex, what will be there? There will be no geometrical isomerism. Now let us take our second case. We have said that in the case of the tetrahedral, or in the case of coordination number 4, there will be two type of geometry. The first one was tetrahedral, and let us consider the second one is our square planar geometry. So when we say the square planar geometry, let us consider the first one. Here, what is that given? Ma4. In this case, you can see that how can we represent the square planar geometry? We will be representing the ligands like this. The ligands will be around the metal atom, what? In a square planar geometry. Now, in this case also, you can see that what is that? Whether we are shifting the atoms or we are shifting the ligands or we are flipping the ligands, there will be no change in the geometry. You can see that it will be same. If we are shifting this ligand to this side or this one to this side, there will be no change in the ligand. So we can say that in the case of ligands of this type, again there will be what? Even though square planar complex, there will be no geometrical isomerism when the ligands are same. Or we call this type where the ligands are same, we call it as homoleptic complexes. Now let us consider the second type. In the case of second type, Let us take one more example. Let it be Ma3. Here you can see two different type of ligands are there. So if we represent it, we will be getting A, B, A, A. This is our square planar. What square planar complexes for, or square planar geometry for this type of. Now again, if we exchange these two ligands, or if we flip these two, we will be again getting what? Here B will come, here A will come, again here A, in this side also A. Now if we compare the two one, in the first case, let it be our A, let it be our B. In the first case, A was opposite to A was opposite to B. Now when we have drawn the structure by flipping these two ligands, again A opposite is A, B opposite is A. It is both A and B are similar. So in this case also, what will be there? There will be no cis-trans isomerism, or we can say that in this type also what will be there? There will be no geometrical isomerism. Even though they are square planar complex, in these two of these type, Ma for homoleptic and Ma3b, here since no cis-trans isomerism is being observed, so there will be what? There will be no geometrical isomerism. Now let us take our third case. In the third case, the ligands are of type M. Let us take, here we have got M, A2, B2. Here you can see the coordination number is 4. So how can we represent it? Here M, A, B, B. This one is our first figure. Second, we can represent it as MA, opposite to this one A, this one B, this one B. So in this case, you can see that in the first case, what is there? In the first case, the groups are adjacent to each other. When the groups are adjacent to each other, we have already studied, we call it as what isomers? We call it as cis isomers. And when the groups are opposite to each other, we call it as what? We call it as trans isomer. So you can see that in this case, the cis trans isomerism is possible. So we can say that in this case, geometrical isomerism is possible for the complexes of the type what? Ma2B2. Geometrical isomerism is possible. Now how many geometrical isomerism is possible in this case? Yes, you are right. How many geometrical isomerism is possible? 2 geometrical isomerism is possible. What are they? Cis and trans. Now one more thing to remember. It's not always possible to draw such structures. So there is another way to find out the number of geometrical isomerism. If we are given Ma to B2, we can write it as what? AA, A2, and what it is? It is BB. Or we can interchange this one, and thus we can write it as what? AB and AB. So here you can see that without even drawing the figure, we can say that how many geometrical isomerism is possible? 2 geometrical isomerism are possible. Now let us consider the next case. Let it be MABCD. Here you can see that 4 different ligands are attached to the metal atom. So how can we draw this one? Let us see. We have drawn M, A, B, C, D. This one is our first one. Now again we can draw it as what? We can draw it as M, A, D, B and C. This one is our second type. Now third, how can we draw? We can draw here it as M, A. This one is our C. This one is our D. And this one is our B. This is our third type. You see, if any other type is possible in this case? No, only we can draw 3 isomers. So in this case, what we are doing? These structures are drawn by fixing the position of one of the ligand as what? As fixed. So in this case, you can see in all the 3 figures, we have fixed the position of which ligand? We have fixed the position of ligand A, and we are drawing the other ligands B, C and D. What? With respect to the fixed position of A. Now a common example for this is, we can take an example. It is PT NH3 PY, our pyridine, NH2 OH, NO2. You can take this one as an example for the type MABCD. You can see all the ligand A, let it be A, this one B, this one C and this one D. All the ligands are different. Again, or how can we draw it? We can draw it as, or we can find out the number of geometrical isomerism by writing in this way also. It is ABCD. This is our first type. Second, we can interchange this one and thus we can write it as what? It is AD. Sorry, this one is interchanging. We can write it as AC and what? It is BD. Again, we can interchange this and thus we can get ADBC. So, how many possibilities there? 3 possibilities there. So, how many geometrical isomerism we are getting in this case? In this case, we are getting 3 geometrical isomerism or 3 geometrical isomers are possible in this case. So, if it is not possible always to draw the structure, you can also find out like in this way. Let us take one more example. The complexes of the type MA2BC. So, instead of drawing how many geometrical isomerism are possible in this case, how can we find out? We can write it as AABC. Again, on interchanging this one, we will be getting what? AC and what is that? AC and AB. If any other possibility is there? No. Again, if we interchange it, again we will be getting what? AB and AC. So, how many geometrical isomerism is possible for this type? 2 geometrical isomerism is possible for these type of square planar complexes. Now, let us see the second category of stereoisomerism, that is optical isomerism. Now, what do you mean by this optical isomerism? If we are passing the plane polarized light through a solution or through a Nicol prism, if the plane polarized light or if it rotates the plane polarized light towards the left, it can rotate the plane polarized light towards the left or can towards the right. Now, if the plane polarized light is coming as such, let me draw this. If the plane polarized light, if it is passed through this one and there is no change in the plane polarized light, then we can say that the object is what? The object is optically inactive. On the other hand, if it can rotate the plane polarized light either as drawn before towards the left or towards the right, then we can say that our object is what? It is optically active. Now, if the plane polarized light or the isomer which rotates the plane polarized light towards the left is called as what? It is called as levorotatory. And we represent it as what? L. And if it is rotated towards the right, we call it as dextrorotatory. What do we call it? Dextrorotatory, and it is represented at what? It is represented as D. Now again, like geometrical isomerism, the complexes with coordination number 4 and 6 show the optical isomerism. In the case of geometrical isomerism, we had said that cis-trans isomerism. In the case of optical isomerism, what? It is DL on isomers. Now, so one of an important aspect for this optical isomers is that they should form what? They should form non-superimposable mirror images. So as said, the isomers with complex or with coordination number 4 and 6 both shows what? Both shows optical isomerism. So let us first consider the complexes with coordination number 4. For example, we are taking MA4. Now in this case, we can represent it as MA. It is a tetrahedral. If we are representing the tetrahedral complex, it can be represented like this. Now, if we take to know whether this one shows optical isomerism or not, if we take the mirror image of this one, we will be getting what? What is the mirror image for this one? It will be A and A. Now, in this case, you see, what is the condition for optical isomerism? It should form non-superimposable mirror image of each other. But here you see what it is showing. It is showing a superimposable mirror image. If we take this one and if we take the mirror image or if we superimpose the mirror image, it will form a superimposable mirror image. So in this case, we can say that what? There is no optical isomerism. In this case, there is no what? There is no optical isomerism. Let us take one more example. Let us take this one. Here we are taking MABCD. Let it be here. Here we are taking the complex MABCD. Now here if we represent, we can represent it as what? We can represent it as MAB. This one is C and this one is D. Now if we take the mirror image for this one, what we will be getting? The mirror image will be M A. The mirror image will be B, will be coming to this side, C here and D again here. Now see whether it is forming a superimposable or non-superimposable mirror image. Let us see. If we are taking this one and if we are superimposing on this one, so we will be getting what? We will be getting here, we will be having M. This one will be what? This one will be A. This one will be what? This one will be B. This one will be C and this one will be what? D. So you can see we are getting different one. No, in the place of D here we are getting what? We are getting B. So on superimposing this one over the first one, what we are getting? We are getting a non-superimposable mirror image. So since we are getting a non-superimposable mirror image, what we can say that this one is optically active. The condition for optical activity is that non-superimposable mirror image should be formed, and in this case, since a non-superimposable mirror image is being formed for this isomer, we can say that our complex is optically active one. So let us see MA6. Now in this case, we have to find out what is the number of geometrical isomerism and whether the following one is optically active or not. So how to find out the geometrical isomerism? Instead of drawing, we can do it like this. AA, and what? AA. So you can see here there is no combination, other combinations possible. You can even also find out by writing. Since A6 means what? It is an octahedral complex. So no geometrical isomerism, no cis-trans isomerism is possible in this case. Either you can find out by drawing or it is more simpler way to find out is like this way. So you can see that here what is that? Since no other combination is possible, that means no cis-trans isomerism is possible, and thus we can say that in this case what is that? There is no geometrical isomerism. Now let us see whether optical isomerism is possible in the case of this complex. Now before that, you have to just remember one thing. To find out whether a complex is optically active or not, we have said that it should form a non-superimposable mirror image. Another point that you can remember is that if the ligand pair is same, that is we are having the same type of ligand or same pair is that AB, then the compound is optically what? Optically inactive. It is an important point, remember. So based on this, let us see. Here you can see that they are having the same pair of ligand. So the complex will be what? This one will be, we can say that it is optically inactive. MA6 complex is what? It is optically inactive. Let us take one more example. Let us take our second example. Let it be MA5B. You have to find out whether geometrical isomers is there or whether the complex is optically active or not. So again we can represent the combination as what? We can represent it as AA, and what is that? It is AB. Now again, what is that? If we interchange it, again what we will be getting? AA, AB, AA. So what is that here? In this case, no other combination is possible. So again what will be there? There will be no geometrical isomerism possible in this case. No geometrical isomerism is possible. Why no geometrical isomerism is possible? Because no other combination is possible in this case. You can also draw and find out whether geometrically cis-trans isomerism is possible in this case or not, but this one is more simpler way. Again, we can see whether it is optically active or not. Here you can see that we have said what if the ligand pair is same, then what will be happening? It will be optically inactive. So in this case, you can see that the ligand pair is same. Again, ligands are same. We have the same type of ligand. So again, what will be that? This complex will be optically inactive one. Again, let us take one more example. Let us take Ma3B2C. Now see whether in this case geometrical isomerism is possible or not. We can draw the combination. We will be getting AA, AB, BC. What is our next combination? We can interchange this one. We can interchange and thus we will be getting AA, AC and BB. Now you see whether other possibilities there. Yes, again we can interchange this one and thus we will be getting AB, AC and again what? AB. So here you can see how many three different combinations are possible. So how many geometrical isomers are possible in this case? There can be 3 geometrical isomers in this case. Geometrical isomer is 3. Now to find out whether the given isomer is optically active or not. Let us see. You can see in the first case, what is that? It has got the same pair of ligands, so it will not be optically active. In this case also, what? It is having the same pair of ligand, it is optically inactive. And in this case, what? The ligands are not same, but we have said one more condition. What is that? If same pair is there, you can see it. If same pair is there, then also it is optically inactive. So in this case, what is that? Same pair is there, so it is optically inactive. So in this example, we have got 3 geometrical isomers, but this complex is what? Optically inactive. Let us take another example. This one was same. Okay, let us take another example. Ma4B2. Now you see how many combinations are possible. We can write it as AA, AA and BB. This is our first combination. What is the next combination? We can interchange this and thus we will be getting AA, AB and again AB. You see there is no other combination possible. So 2 combinations are there. So how many geometrical isomers are there in this case? In this case we have 2 geometrical isomers. And whether it is optically active or not? No, it is not optically active because it has got same pair of ligand. So 2 geometrical isomers are there and again optical activity is there. It is optically inactive one. Let us take our next example. So our next example is Ma3B3. Let us see how many combinations are possible. We can write it as AA, AB and BB. This is our first combination. Next again what? We can interchange this one and thus we will be getting AB, AB and again what? AB. On interchanging this one we will be getting AB, this one AB and again what? AB. So how many combinations are possible? 2 different combinations are possible. So we can say that how many geometrical isomers are there? In this case also we have 2 geometrical isomers. Now next we have to see whether it is optically active or not. You see here it is not optically active because in the first case same type of ligands are there and in the second case same pairs are there. So optically it is what? Optically inactive. Now let us take another example. Ma3BCD. Now in this case let us see how many combinations are possible. We can write it as AA, AB and CD. This is our first combination. Again on interchanging this ligands we will be getting AA, AC and what? It is BD. Now on interchanging these ligands, we will be getting AB, AC, and what? It is our AD. Now again on interchanging these ligands, we will be getting one more combination. You can see here. Again on interchanging, we will be getting one more combination, that is AA, AD, and what is that? It is BC. This one. AA, AD, and this one is our BC. So you can see that in this case, how many different combinations we are getting? We are getting 4 different combinations. So we can say that how many geometrical isomerism is possible? 4 geometrical isomers are possible. Now let us see whether optical isomerism is possible or not. In the first case, in same type of ligands, no optical isomerism. In the second case also, there is what? There is no optical isomerism. In the third case, you see AB, AC, and AD. Same type of ligands are not there, and even same pairs are not there. So in this case, what is that? Optically active isomerism is possible, or this combination is optically active. Now moving on to our last, fourth combination. Since same type of ligand is there, no optical isomerism is possible. Now on taking this one, we have AB, AC, and AD. Here you can see that optical isomerism is possible. And what is the two optical isomers possible? We have already discussed what is that? D and L isomers. So we can say that how many optically active isomers are possible in this case? We have thus 4 geometrical isomerism, and how many optically active one? We have 2 optical active isomers. So what about the rest? This one, and this one. These 3 are optically inactive isomers. Hope these things are clear. Now let us do some questions to find out whether geometrical isomerism is possible or not in the following cases. So here is your question. You have to find out how many geometrical isomerism will be possible in these two cases. Hope these things are clear. Thank you.